Happy New Year, everyone. 2013, the year of Fire Emblem Awakening English localization. So, yes, I can already say this year is going to be awesome. But first, let's kick off the new year with this chapter and make it our New Year's resolution to get Katarina back on side. And I forgot to mention in the last side quest it was revealed that Aramia is indeed working for Garnet. Now you can play DLC Chapter 2. Now you can play that without spoiling the whole, stuff. Because yes, that pretty much spoils that revelation. Anyway, now this scene, when I first read this scene, I was like, if you didn't hate Aramia before, you're gonna start hating her now. Yeah. Now, yes, remember that person that Katarina was talking about who saved her from Norda? That person is implied to be, yes, Aramia here. And, yes, again, you will really start to hate her after this scene. For some reason, though, this is kind of reminding me of, I don't know why, well, actually, I do know why, but, Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days in the way Shion is treated, but I don't want to say any more because that's spoilers for that game. And that's completely irrelevant. Right, let's see, we've got another very small map here, a couple of conversations here, firstly involving Jagen. So, yes, after that last chapter ends on a massive cliffhanger, we're being attacked by assassins again. Well, like most of the side quests in this game, this one is very short. But, of course, this one is really significant. If you somehow miss this side quest, you'll kind of, the plot will not make much sense for the other side quests. Now, using Julian in the last chapter, I've got enough for his second support conversation. Now, this surprised me. This conversation is surprisingly depressing. This one is actually really just plain depressing, Anyway. Yeah, Julian basically goes on about how, he blames himself for Lena being kidnapped, and that if he was stronger, he, could have saved her, and... wait a minute, isn't that obvious? I mean, you know, she certainly wouldn't be happy if she was being kidnapped by evil Dark Bishops. But, yeah, you find out... Well, this is kind of interesting, though, because, Julian, you've got a 70% strength growth, you know. I mean, he is actually a pretty damn good fighter, if trained, so I don't see why Julian's worried about not being able to protect Lena. I mean, if trained, he's got a better strength growth than, I mean, some of the fighters, and they're supposed to specialize in strength, and he's a thief. So anyway, onto the map itself. We've got a couple of, well, quite a few berserkers here with tomahawks, and I still don't think you can actually get tomahawks. A couple of swordmasters, snipers, and the one we've all been waiting for, here we go, Katarina herself. Now, she's a sage now, unlike in the prologue. And in the DLC Chapter 2, where you get to control the assassins, she's also a sage. So I think that, and since the DLC is set before the main story, that implies she was intentionally holding back when you last fought her. Because, yeah, she was just a mage back then. Now, here, I'm going to put Ryan back in, because I didn't use him in the last chapter, I don't think. So, yeah, he needs to catch up with everyone else. And now, you might notice here that Mary Sue is, her name's highlighted in green, so she is forced for this chapter. Now, something I've forgotten to say. After the prologue, you are free to drop your My unit at any time. However, you'd be pretty insane to do so, because they're completely broken. So, yeah, you can drop them, and technically speaking, I mean, you can do that if you want to save on deployment slots. Of course, I'm not going to do that, one, because Mary Sue was essentially forcing me to use her. I mean, she's got to overshadow the canon characters, after all. And two, well, I mean, they're just too good. Anyway, I don't really need the unlock staff, seeing as there are no doors, so I guess I'll just take another mend. Even though I can use physic, I probably won't need it in this chapter, because the map is just so short. There's really no need for long-range staffs. He'll be able to go where we need him to go anyway. Right, now, as for... Oh, physics staff there too. As for my unit. Now, my unit is vital to this chapter, obviously. And you'll see why when we start it. Now, for reasons, I'm just trying to find another bow for her. I was trying to find an iron bow, and then I realized that if I reclassed it sniper, she'd have a C, so she'd be able to use anything up to killer bows. Yeah, I was kind of stupid. But, anyway. But still, weak bow, the weaker the better, because, yes, now, in this chapter, you want your My units to... You want to set them up so they can't, like, accidentally kill Katarina. You don't want that. Of course, yes, My unit is vital to, well, I'm going to spoil this, but it's pretty obvious, recruiting Katarina, which is basically the whole point of this chapter. Now, if you want to do this, though, what I recommend is putting My unit into, a class that can't counterattack at close range. Now, my recommendation is to have your My unit as a bow user for this chapter. That's my personal preference. The reason being is if you have My unit be a bow user and stand in front of Katarina, equipping a bow, then they will not be able to counter Katarina when Katarina fights them in close range, which is going to be because My unit is going to have to be right next to her to talk. But one talk won't do it, so you'll need to survive a few turns of her attacking you. Yes, she has Mathis syndrome, but it's totally justified in her case. So, like I said, if you've got a bow, and you're standing right next to Katarina, she can attack you, you won't counter her, but if one of those snipers tries to attack your My unit will be able to counter, without fear of countering Katarina as well. So, that's why I prefer, in my first playthrough I had my My unit as a general and equipped him with a bow. So, that's basically what I like to do. Failing that, just, if you're in a different class, because, you know, anything else that you probably be able to counter at close range, and you really don't want that. So, if you're in any other class, I would just recommend outright unequipping your My unit, or even stripping them of their weapons entirely, because otherwise you'll have no way to stop yourself from accidentally countering and killing her. And of course, she doesn't have the best defense, so you want to watch out for that. She does have Nosferatu, which will heal her when she damages you, but given that that requires her to get close to killing you, and whoa, that was really close to leveling up. So, what I decided I'd do here was, I will save and reset for some level ups. So I'll be back after Ryan has gained a good level up. I'm back. That took 3 resets. Ryan, you're supposed to have a 50% speed growth. That's pretty good by Archer standards. Why are you failing me in this department? And so after 2 level ups, actually 2 level ups that were exactly the same, I finally settled on this. You see, you finally got speed. Finally. That was 5 level ups. 5 level ups. And you have a 50% speed growth. And I actually thought the skill cap was 29. Oh, but it turned out it's a lot more. Anyway. Why? Why, Ryan? Why are you getting speed screwed? On the plus side, he is getting defense blessed, which is good, but kind of weird. My first playthrough, his speed was much higher at this point. Anyway. Alright, just doing a bit of rearranging here, making sure we can all do what we need to do, and I never realised just how different the female sniper map sprite was from male snipers, but yeah, that's kind of no real concern yet. Anyway, time to begin the chapter itself. And yes, we all knew this was coming. Time when we meet her again, and of course we have to fight her, but of course we can recruit her this time, and that's basically the whole point of this side quest. And at this point she basically just wants to die, but we're gonna fix that. Right then, there's actually a whole bunch of enemies between us and her though, so we're gonna have to deal with them. They're all promoted and kinda nasty, but fortunately we've brought our best sword users along, so we can... Ryan, I would like it if you started doubling soon. Well, at least this killer bow is treating me better than the last killer bow. I swear, that killer bow just hated me, for some reason. Now, notice the yellow, icon there? Yes, My unit can talk to Katarina. Now, this is how you recruit her. This is the first conversation that you need to do. So, yeah, they're talking about, unfortunately, yeah. that won't do it just yet. But hey, I can go on to attack one of these guys after I've talked to her. Now, speaking of talking, right, this is how you recruit Katarina. You need to talk to her with my unit 3 times. That means that technically speaking, 3 turns is the fastest that you can complete this chapter. Or is it? Now, I found this out, I didn't actually show it here, but I discovered this in my first playthrough. If you use Fina to dance for my unit, you can actually get 2 of those conversations done in the space of the same turn. Which means it's possible to do this in 2 turns. Of course, technically speaking, you could probably do this in 1 turn if you, I don't know, were a heartless bastard and killed Katarina, but no. By the way, don't even think about doing that. By the way, do not kill her. Don't even think about it. Trust me, you will cry. Seriously. Her death quote. You don't want to know. You seriously don't want to know. I did it once just to see what it looked like. Yeah, trust me on this. You will cry. So, anyway, let's finish off these guys then. Just a couple of berserkers, nothing really too major. And by this point, our luck stats are so high that the extra critical bonus berserkers get doesn't really do much. It's kind of funny though, because I believe their critical bonus is only 10% or something. It's really significant sometimes, like in, say, a certain DLC chapter where your characters don't have quite as high luck, and they love to crit you with low percents. And, I mean, I guess the Roros can crit you sometimes, but most of the time, these guys really aren't much of a threat. There will be more coming though. There are reinforcements in this chapter. Now, as you can see, 2 of our characters started off on forts. You might want to remember that, because once you step off the forts, and here's Katarina, and she doesn't have any special battle quotes with my unit, so this is always what she says. Now, you may need to... Oh, nice one. You may need to heal your my unit a little bit, if they can't really, take the repeated magical assault. They're gonna have to endure attacks from her for at least, 2 turns, but most likely 3. I mean, I could have done this in 2, but I was curious to see what the reinforcements were like, so I let it take it on. Plus, I wanted the extra experience. Now I can actually use this Levin Sword here. Levin Sword is a lot more useful than I gave it credit for. Certainly, I never got this much use out of the magic weapons in Path of Radiance. I was about to say and Radiant Dawn, then I realised the ones in Radiant Dawn don't actually use your magic stat and so are much more useful. But the ones in Path of Radiance, I found them pretty stupidly useless most of them. Oh, come on, that was 49! If this killer bow might actually hate me. Anyway. You know what? I should use the Geosphere with him. I really should. And hopefully no one will be able to attack Fina after this is over. Of course, she would do a much better job of dodging if she had a 30 speed cap! Oh, once again, my weird Ryan luck strikes again. Come on, weird Ryan luck, give me a... Well, here you go, at least he got speed, and max skill. So his crit rate is going to be as high as it can possibly be. Anyway, though, yeah. Why is it that whenever I don't critical with a kill weapon, I critical with an ordinary steel weapon? It happened to me back in Chapter 6, it's happening again now, and I could actually make a montage of the number of times I've done this. Anyway, right then, I'm pretty sure that I will not need to heal my unit this turn, and hey Elrond, you finally got a good level up! It's about time. Anyway, moving back here, just in case, berserkers appear. Oh, wait a minute, you're not supposed to know they're berserkers yet. Spoilers! Sorry. Recording these ahead of time, sometimes I just, let certain details slip. But anyway, yep, there are going to be berserkers coming from here. But first, here's the second conversation with Katarina. This one is really short and to the point. Yeah, this one is really short. But don't worry, there's only 1 to go, and you crit with an iron bow. So, the score now is, Iron Bow crits 1, Steel Bow crits 1, Killer Bow crits, 0 in that turn. Well, good thing he didn't hit the first time, or things might have got really dicey. Speaking of dicey, whoa, do these guys have a lot of attack power. Yeah, that was kind of freaky. I did not expect them to do that much damage. And then I took a look at them, and holy, level freaking 17! yeah, you want to leave someone to block that spot lest they run rampant through your rear. You do not want that with level freaking 17 Berserkers with silver weapons. And this is just regular hard. I shudder to think what these guys look like on Lunatic mode. Then again though, if you're on Lunatic mode, you've survived Chapter 11 on Lunatic mode. And if you survive Chapter 11 on Lunatic mode, then you are superhuman. Anyway, whoever needs the experience here, just go for it. I think there might be more reinforcements, but I would rather not take my chances, thank you very much. I'd rather just recruit Katarina and have this done, and someone else is going to need to finish the job, isn't they? Right then. Oh, Fina can't quite do it. But she can dance for her possible pairing. Maybe not, despite there being no parent enemies. Anyway. And another level up. So those guys were giving really good experience. Oh, come on! Okay. Okay, that was not good for Narval. 2 attacks with a killing edge, no crits, level up, just HP, then his weapon breaks. I think Narval, gets the most unlucky character award for this chapter. Anyway, this here is the final conversation, which means this one, okay, I actually, because, you know, I can't actually hear the music when I'm recording this commentary, I am pretty sure that Katarina's theme, Puppets Don't Cry, is playing here. This also plays, of course, back in the last chapter when, Klein died, when that was really depressing. Basically, yes, it plays at depressing moments. Now, for some reason, some of these flashbacks, I like to look back, but I had this feeling some of these flashbacks are a little different to how the text actually was back in the prologue. I'll need to go check myself. But, anyway, could you answer no to that? I wonder if that was one of the questions you can answer no to. And yeah, she said it was all a lie, but and now, I'm sorry, I just pictured a Phoenix Wright take that bubble just appearing there. Presenting evidence that Katarina does in fact care about us. Anyway, yes, now you see that we've got an actual artwork down there on the bottom. So yeah, and this is why I'm guessing her theme is called what it is. Puppets don't cry, as in it's proof that she's not a puppet. Anyway. So, yeah, we're... Return to us, friend. That's the name of her theme, I believe. For resurrecting people, actually. But, anyway, Katarina is on side, and actually, since she was the last enemy on the map, we now win. But first, I'd better talk about her now. Well, of course we're not going to execute you. No, we're going to welcome you back with open arms. Yes, we've spent the better part of more than half the game wondering if she'll come back to us, and she finally has. Now, was it all worth it? Well, in a way. You see, Katarina, at this point, has the honour of being one of the few pre-promotes at around this late in the game who's actually pretty useful if you want to use them. And as you can see there, they have some very good growth rates, especially in skill and speed and luck. I mean, almost on par with Linda's in those areas. Of course, once again, they suffer from kind of low-ish bases, and being newly added in the remake, they really have no excuse for that. But, that being said, their bases are actually not that awful by the standards of some pre-promotes, and especially that magic base is actually reasonably high by this game's standards. And they could be worse. The one thing that kind of annoys me is the low base luck, which kind of wastes her massive luck growth. But, still, and she's actually got a pretty decent resistance growth too, which is sort of rare. But as you can see, those averages actually aren't all that bad by pre-promote standards. And, also, her starting weapon ranks. She's got a C in staves right from the beginning, which means she can use physics staves. And that means if you want an extra healer, she's actually, yeah, she's kind of like Etzel in that regard, but more later in the game. If you want an extra secondary healer who can also attack pretty decently well too, well, certainly pretty well, with a B rank in tomes, she can actually use every tome in the game at this point. Because yes, like I've said, the only A rank tome in the game is exclusive to Garnet, so obviously she won't be using that. But anyway, so that basically means that she can actually use Aura at base, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Linda's Aura Tome, she can use it always, but other females need a D. But yeah, she can use Aura, and she'll be probably doubling with it soon enough, with decent enough speed. Also, having a C in Staves, again, very helpful, means she can use Physic right off the bat, and she can do her job as like a backup staff bot pretty well. So, if you want an extra healer, you couldn't really go wrong by using her. She's actually pretty nice, and she's got decent growth rates too. I mean, she's certainly much better in the backup pre-promote staff bot role than Wendell is. Yeah, Wendell did join a lot earlier, but he sucks, so yeah. So, that's really all I've got to say about Katarina. As far as pre-promotes go, yeah, she's actually pretty decent. And, well, if you want to use her, then go right ahead. She's also, yes, one of the only characters in the game who is a mutual support with my unit. You see, my unit gives a support bonus to everyone, but they only receive support bonuses from very specific characters, specifically the members of the original 7th Platoon, as well as Katarina. She also gets a mutual support bonus with Seal, which is interesting. And they've also got support conversations, so if you want to check those out, by all means go and do that. So, that's basically all I need to say about Katarina. Yeah, so, yep, very plot significant. She could have been a little bit better, but still, for what she is, she's actually certainly not bad. I kind of gave you a bit of a cliffhanger back then. But, yeah, of course, we are definitely not going to execute her. Now, this conversation really seems to be similar to me to, the conversation Nina has with Horus at the end of his side quest in Shadow Dragon. Look up the script on serenadesforest.net if you're not convinced. This conversation to me felt really similar. Again, rather than atoning with life rather than death. It was... Nina had a very similar thing to say to Horus. So, but Martha's have an interesting point that she's never thought for herself up to this point, but she's only been following orders. So, now she's gonna find her own way in life and find her own answer, and I guess maybe we can see supports if she manages to do that. But anyway, that's the end of this chapter, so again, happy Year of Awakening everyone, and I'll see you next time.